Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Kyle. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on the new Banlist, that Forbidden and Limitless, I should say, update that they're doing for Master Duel. It's going to be a real quick one, not a whole lot to talk about, but some interesting applications moving forward. So I just wanted to get this video out to you guys real quick, give you my thoughts, and hopefully we could start a discussion about the state of the game moving forward. So, up first, nothing banned, nothing limited. They're moving a couple cards to semi-limit. First up is Long One. I don't think this does anything. I play a lot of Sword Soul myself, and you really only summon Long One once. Uh, yeah, if you don't open him, you're searching him with Chi um, and and just continuing your plays from there. It just, like, yes, it's going to make the deck a little bit more inconsistent, not being able to open him quite as often, but I don't think that this really does anything in the long run for Sword Soul as an archetype. You still have 3 Moe, you still have 3 Taya, you still have 3 Ecclesia, you still have 3 Emergence. Like, the amount of ways to just extend your plays is still infinite, so it doesn't, as someone who plays the deck a lot, I don't think that this is going to be a whole, just a whole lot for the deck. Maybe it will, who knows, but at least from my perspective as someone who's been playing Sword Soul a lot, I just don't see one less Long One affecting the win rate or the play rate of the deck all that much. Alright, up next we have Branded Opening. I think that this is a similar situation to Long One. Yes, the deck is going to be down a starter with Opening being gone, but all things considered, I feel like the deck is just so consistent that missing one Opening really isn't going to change much, if anything at all. They still have 3 Aluber, they still have 3 Albaz, still have 3 Branded Fusion, they still have all of their fusions, nothing's hit there. Like, they still have Super Poly. Like, I don't feel like one Branded Opening is going to break the deck. Yes, it's going to make it slightly more inconsistent, but that's not a bad thing. Slightly inconsistent meta decks isn't anything new. Missing one starter isn't going to kill Branded, even in the slightest. So, like Long One, I don't see this changing anything for Branded moving forward. But the next hit is kind of interesting. Magnificent Map for Flu. This, I feel like, does potentially slow the deck down enough to rein it back in, especially with the new variants that are running Numbers Evil and Salesman to summon a format Rongo that doesn't have to detach for the rest of the game. Flu is just in a very good position right now. There are a lot of different builds that they can run, and I think that limit or semi-limiting map really just kind of puts them in check a little bit more than the other semi-limits here. I could be very wrong. I don't play Flu. I've considered it, but I don't have a whole ton of experience with the deck. But I feel like having 2 map just limits the deck enough to where it'll slow them down just enough to bring them back in check with the rest of the decks in the format. Alright, and then we got a couple unlimits here. So, first up, Roxy's. Prank Kids is still dead. Giving them... as soon as they took away 3 Meow Meow Moo and they banned Celestial for the DPE package, Prank Kids is like, yes, this does help having a third Roxy's, but I don't think anybody's going to be playing more than 2 anyway, because it's the one that you want. The other 3, you want Lampsies, Famsies, and Dropsies to go into Battle Butler. Roxy's helps you, extend into those, but I just don't think that this really does anything moving forward. Yes, it's great to have the option to have the third Roxy's in your deck, but overall, I don't think that pranks are going to be coming back into the meta at all. So, as sad as it is, as someone who played a lot of Prank Kids when they were meta, it sucks to see that this unlimit does nothing. But like, at least they're recognizing that the deck isn't doing anything right now and giving them back at least some of their support. So overall, I don't think it'll affect the meta that much, but it's nice to have. Up next, Widow Anchor. This one is interesting. Sky Striker, is such a good deck. It does what it wants to do. You're playing a fuck ton of spell cards. You're just cycling through your deck over and over and over again. And having access to 3 Widow Anchor is just... It helps after the Hulk ban, because now they have an easier way to get into access code to go for game. So just giving them more materials. You steal a monster, you make Zeke, you summon Veiler from your hand, you make Celine summon back Veiler and make access code. It helps Sky Striker end the game, because otherwise they're just plinking you to death 1,500 at a time, and that just doesn't feel good for anybody involved. So I really feel like this is a big one. Expect to see a lot more Sky Striker moving forward. I like the deck. I think it'll be pretty good position. I'm not going to say it's going to be meta, but I do think that this definitely brings up its rogue status to one that is fairly more consistent than it already was. All right, up next, Torn Scales. This is kind of the same thing as Roxy's. When they banned Celestial, and it made PK Adventure so much worse, because their grind game got infinitely worse, not having that free draw from banishing Celestial and Dasher to refill your hand and continue your plays from there. And same with limiting of Water Enchantress. The deck is just in a very awkward position right now. So I think that this might do something for like Pure or PK Fire, but I don't think that PK Adventure is gonna really do that much anymore. But it's worth testing. 3 Torn Scales. Torn Scales is a great starter. If you're playing Pure, this just makes your first turn more consistent, being able to summon something else from the deck, go into not Crowley. Crowley. No, what is his name? The Burning Abyss Link 2. But yeah, just makes your deck more consistent turn 1, which is good if you're playing PK Fire or Pure PKs. So overall, I think it's a win for Phantom Knights, but I think they're in between Prank Kids and Sky Strikers moving forward. They'll probably be semi-rogue. I don't see them moving back into the meta with this, but it's nice to have them unlimiting cards that for archetypes that aren't doing anything anymore. Lao. I have never played Virtual World. I don't know what this does for the deck. So I'm not gonna pause it. I'm just gonna say about this last one is, like the other ones, Virtual World hasn't been good since they got rid of VFD, so giving them back another one of their pieces, probably good for the deck. Don't expect them to be meta, but it lets people who like the deck play it a little more consistently, and overall I'd say that is a win. So that's it that's everything that's coming off the list and going on to it. Overall, my thoughts here are it's pretty meh. It's a very lackluster list, but that being said, I do really like the fact that it seems that they want to have a ban and limit list once a month, like a small one, and then every 3 to 4 months put out a big one that really changes up the meta, which I am totally fine with. If you look at the state of the TCG with how long they had to wait for a Forbidden Limited list, and they still got, fucked over because mine is still in the format, and it just having more lists isn't a bad thing. Especially if they're going to be ones like this, small ones where they just are a consistency hit to meta decks and then bringing stuff off the list that doesn't need to be there anymore. I feel like Master Duel is doing things right, and as soon as Maxi gets banned, I feel like probably 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh players, especially TCG players, will probably jump ship to Master Duel and make it their primary source of playing Yu-Gi-Oh, if it isn't already, because Maxi is the only card that is really keeping this format from being pretty great. We get more ban lists, if we get more releases on good cards, I feel like this, current cards, I should say, not just good cards, but current cards, if we get closer to the releases that we have IRL, I feel like Master Duel is going to be in such a great position moving forward that it might become the dominant force for Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward. So those are my thoughts. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you guys agree, disagree, what you think of the new limit list, what you think of Konami releasing these small lists every month. But overall, I'm pretty happy, but the list is meh. So thanks again for watching, guys. I will see you next time.